Yo, welcome to another episode of All Things Covered with Patrick Peterson and Bryant McFadden, part of the CBS Sports Podcast Network. We have a new champ. It's a team with the oldest player in the National Football League, now a 7-time champion. And on this episode, we have you covered with all things Super Bowl 55 related. And as a reminder, if you're rocking with us, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating review on Apple Podcasts. Now, let's get to it. First quarter of our show, we're still in that Super Bowl vibe, so we kind of switching things up a little bit. You know, you guys, we usually chop it up, but we're not going to chop it up right now. We're going to address some dirty rumors that were floating around the football world. Of course, you know, the big headlines was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you know, just routing the Kansas City Chiefs, right? That was the big headline Sunday night leading into Monday and throughout the day Monday. But there was another headline that was circulating throughout the NFL world, and it involved our very own P2, Patrick Peterson. There was a dirty rumor floating around Twitter. They had P2 trend. He was trending on all social media platforms, and the rumor was Patrick Peterson and the Arizona Cardinals decided to mutually part ways, right? And we have our very own Patrick Peterson. This is the best source you can get and have in place if you're talking about Patrick Peterson, because guess what? We got Patrick Peterson. So Pat, P2, I'm gonna allow you to address those rumors that were circulating around the football world and just kind of give us an update info, you know, some update information regarding your situation with you potentially being a free agent.
Honestly, there is no real update, and it is just what you said it was, a dirty rumor. I woke up to it this morning as well, me and the team haven't talked anything about contracts. Haven't talked about parting ways. So, that's just what it is. It's a dirty rumor. I don't know where Mike got his report from, but, for the
Matt,
most
his name
part,
was Matt,
Matt,
if I'm not
Matt,
mistaken, from
Matt.
Fanside.
Yeah, I don't know where Matt gets his where he got his insight from, but that was a dirty rumor, B Mac. You hearing it
Yeah.
here?
Hey, you're the best source we need to listen to regarding anything P2 related, Patrick Peterson related. So going forward, when you heard the news, granted, you like you said, you knew there was no realness to that. What was going through your mind? Like, did you want to talk to your agent, or you wanted to figure out exactly where is this coming from? What was the first few things you decided to do?
Honestly, it just went over my head, and like I said, it was a dirty rumor. So, the things that they were saying in the report, I knew wasn't true. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
me and my team didn't budge on moving forward with it.
Yeah. Well, in the next few
Free agent
coming
haven't
weeks,
even started yet. Jesus
and
Christ! I mean, the Super Bowl just got over with yesterday.
hey, that's why I had to hit your phone. I'm like, what am I missing? I mean, I guess he was trying to steal some headlines from Tom Brady and the
No, man, I
Buccaneers.
can't do that from the GOAT, man. No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
today. Today is a GOAT day. I'm sure he's out there in Disney World right now, soaking it up his seventh championship. And I saw another video that was trending of the
hmm
GOAT getting ready for another one. He wasn't even
another
celebrating.
one.
He was getting ready for another one. He sounded like
Hey,
Cali. Another
hey,
one.
that's why he's considered the GOAT. No days off, no time off. There's always an opportunity to get better. But we
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you addressing that dirty rumor. And when I say dirty rumor, it's dirty because there's no truth to it. Clean
Right.
rumors, there is some truth
Right.
to it. So for you guys watching us and listening to us, y'all can steal that. I'm okay with that. Y'all can steal that. That was a dirty rumor. You want clean rumors. You know what I
That was a
mean?
dirty
So
rumor.
the next rumor we hear associated with Patrick Peterson, if it comes from him, you know it's a clean rumor. So stay tuned. But like he said, free agency haven't even started yet, and they already throwing my guy into the free agent headlines, to say the least. But hey, right now he's an Arizona Cardinal, and for all we know, he will return with the Cardinals unless otherwise. And if it's otherwise, guess who's going to tell you? Patrick Peterson. And he
The
might tell
man
you right
himself.
here. All things covered. Now it's time for Super Bowl 55 recap. As you guys may see, I'm still here in Tampa, and Pat P, I was here all week leading up to the ball game. I was at the ball
Mhm.
game last night. Extremely excited. The atmosphere became electric, especially closer
Yeah.
to game time. But the ball game didn't play out like many thought it would. We thought we would
Hmm.
see a competitive ball game, a ball game that would head showcase outstanding quarterback play. One team had pretty good quarterback play, the other team did not, but defensively and the ground and pound attack, surfaced to be the headline in this ball game. If you guys are living under a rock, or if you were living under a rock Sunday, the final score of Super Bowl 55, the Buccaneers beat the Kansas City Chiefs 31-9. And before we get into the ball game, Pat P, remember I told you I had a whole lot of parlays set up and locked and loaded. So my first main bet that I was rocking with, Pat P, listeners and viewers, it was the first half under. The first half under was set at 27.5.
Ooh.
Remember, halftime score was 21-6. So that half saved me. That hook that I had saved me. I also had the Chiefs to cover 2.5. It was 3. I bought it down a half point, got 2.5. That didn't matter. But one of the best bets that I had, Pat P, I had Gronkowski, who was plus 175. Anytime touchdown. Anytime touchdown. Who caught the first touchdown for the Buccaneers?
Gronk.
Exactly.
Gronk,
so, Pat P, boy, listen. Man, I was jumping for joy when that came through. I was jumping for joy. So for all you guys that had a nice betting Super Bowl 55, man, I salute you. I tip my brim to you because it was a great Sunday for me as well. But let's get to the ball game, Pat P. I'm going to start with you with this question. How shocked were you with the outcome of the ball game?
I thought the game would be a lot closer, but like I said, I thought Tampa Bay defense will play a lot better. And
you said that
they gave them a different look. They played 87% too high, take away the big shots. That's what killed them in the first game. Tyreek Hill having 200 some odd yards in the first half, I believe, in that game. And the game still ended up being close. So they came into the ball game understanding that if they took away the home run play, they had an opportunity to stand in the ball game, letting their front four eat and show what they're worth. And they got after the quarterback, and that they made Pat Mahomes' life a living hell. They got after him from the middle. They got after him from the edges. Almost every time he sat back, he's dropped back for a pass. He was scrambling. He was trying to get away from somebody. So Bowles did a great job of taking away the big play and letting his big guys up front eat. And those linebackers,
yeah, our very own man, friend of the show, Levante, David,
man.
Devin
Tony Romo made a great point. He said anytime someone is going up against Travis Kelce, they always give him space. But David was not giving him any breathing room. He was physical with him at the line of scrimmage, forcing him to make it. Levante was making Kelce make a decision before the decision before he wanted to make a decision by being physical at the line of scrimmage, colliding him every time he went out for a route. So to me, I was shocked on the performance on the score outcome, but I wasn't shocked on the performance from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, and I wasn't shocked on the performance on Tom Brady in that offense.
And one thing I would like to hit on, Pat P, with you being familiar with, as you call him, Bowlesy. That's what you call him.
Yeah,
Bowlesy. I don't know Coach Bowles like that. I can't call him Bowlesy, but you can call him Bowlesy. but the adjustments, the difference of game plans that we saw compared to the first meeting clearly was highly noticed, right?
Oh no,
and can you kind of school us a little bit? Were you familiar with some of the things they were doing defensively, especially in the secondary? I know you emphasized 2 high safeties and things like that, but did anything that they were doing defensively kind of stuck out to you based on the relationship you had playing under Coach Bowles in Arizona?
Well, from the TV copy, it's kind of hard to see, what the safety's doing, and the camera don't be on the right angle, so your eyes be all over the place. But I definitely remember a couple calls that I've seen on TV that was very familiar. It was a couple things that was a little bit new. I saw one time he had 3 safeties out there, literally 3 safeties on the field. So I'd never seen him, and I think I do believe I remember that him calling that, but I can't remember the exact call that it was. But seeing those guys line up, and he kept it real simple. Honestly, he didn't do nothing crazy. He didn't do nothing crazy at all. He played man. He didn't play no man under, so he played just straight man. Cover 3, cover 4.
Yeah.
Let his front 4 go eat.
And if I'm not mistaken,
he didn't even blitz.
That's what I was going to hit on, Pat P. I think for the entire ball game, I counted no
He missed
more
twice.
than 5 or 6 blitzes where he brought
Yeah,
extra hats.
yeah,
And that's not Todd Bowles. But
exactly.
that's the good thing about a coach being able to get out of his normalcy
Adjust.
to be
Yeah.
able to make adjustments. I mean,
Yep.
9.6 of the dropbacks. He only blitzed on 9.6 of the dropbacks. So that's impressive, and that played a part in them being so successful as well. Another individual who you love and you adore that was on that staff is BA, Bruce Arians, right?
Yep.
He stated out, I ain't going anywhere. I'm gonna try to get 2 and then we'll see. I mean, talk about how excited you were for BA and the job he was able to do this season, and now making it known he's chasing a whole nother ring.
Man, it was such a joy to see BA go after get his first ring as a head coach. Being able to play under him for 5 years, know the hard work and dedication that he puts into the game plans and to building a team and to where it needs to be. Like I said, I talked about it last week. He start every meeting off with that goal, and that's winning a championship. That's
Yeah,
all that matters. That's all we're working towards. And to see that he finally got there, and me knowing the nucleus that he's given his team, the guidance that he's given his team to finally capture that ultimate goal. It was definitely a pleasure to watch here on my couch here in Arizona.
yeah. And another friend of the show, we had a guest on a few weeks ago, and Ryan Clark. He tweeted out, "Thank you, Bruce Arians, for showing the world that all 3 of your coordinators can be black. Your assistant head coach can be black. You can have 2 full-time women coaches and be the best team in the world. You're a trailblazer. Leadership doesn't have a look." What are your thoughts about that tweet and knowing the diversity that Coach Arians has on his staff currently, and then being able to showcase that diversity on the biggest stage and winning a championship?
Having an opportunity to be with BA for those 5 years and going through that Colin Kaepernick, stage or whatever, we had an opportunity to understand where BA comes from, his upbringing, BA 's from Pennsylvania, grew up in, a heavily black neighborhood. All of his friends was black growing up, so he had an opportunity to see what they was going through that time. So, to me, I always felt like, it was never a color in BA's eyes. He all saw everybody as people. And if I remember, I think he was the first when he was here. We hired the first lady. I don't think she was full time, but she was the first lady to be a coach and a leader, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember her name, but yeah, he started that when he got here in 2016, 17, I believe. So to see him continue that trend going, he was real, you know, animated about getting women into the game because he always saw him watching girls football or he was just always fascinated about finding a way of getting women involved with football and to see that he have two female full-time coaches and and seeing his coaching staff is heavily brothered
Yeah.
so he I just see I think just BA is just a great people's person and he just see people equally.
And I'm glad you said that equally. He sees people equally, and he's been that way for a long, long time. One cool nugget about Coach BA Bruce Arians is that back at Virginia Tech, he was the first white player in Virginia Tech history to share a dorm with a black player.
Yeah,
And during that time, it was very, very difficult for black players in college
especially in
football.
Virginia.
Yes, 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 yes. So just knowing that and seeing that, and that player that he shared the dorm with was Tiki and Rondé Barber's father.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So that player, that black player at Virginia Tech, was the Barber twins' father,
Father.
James Barber.
Wow.
So I mean, BA has always been a quality individual,
Yes.
a good guy who
Great
doesn't
guy.
see color. He just sees
Honorable.
character. You know what I mean? And that's what
Yeah.
leadership is about. And I'm not surprised because he's been successful in coaching the game of football as a head coach, as an assistant. But being able to get to that Lombardi and win that Lombardi, that defines a different success. And I'm so happy that he was able to do that. I want to go back a little more, dig deeper into the job that Todd Bowles did, because one thing that I was emphasizing, covering the game Sunday, I mean, not Sunday, but Monday, recapping the game Monday, CBS Sports HQ. I was so excited because I said defense can still win championships. You know what I'm saying? Everybody keeps talking about defense can get you to a championship, but you still need elite offenses to win a championship. Man, stop that. Todd Bowles proved to all you guys you can still win championships playing stout defense. So let me give you guys some nuggets and some stats. Pat Mahomes, 26 of 49, 270 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. First time in his career he lost by more than 1 score. Courtesy of Next Gen Stats, right? The Buccaneers defense aligned in a 2-high safety shell. Pat P, we talked about that, on 87% of their plays, 59 of 68 plays to be exact, the highest rate by a Todd Bowles-led defense in a game over the last 5 seasons. Mahomes on deep passes, 0 for 5, right? No yards, clearly, and an interception. The Bucs blitzed on, as I said earlier, on 9.6% of dropbacks, the lowest rate by a Bowles-led defense over the last 5 years. They still pressured him 29 times, the most in Super Bowl history. I mean, so just some of those numbers, man, and seeing what he was able to do was phenomenal. And the thing that, and I'm gonna hit on this a little earlier too, I mean, later in the show, just not understanding what Andy Reid and the chief staffs were looking at and what we were trying to do was clearly confusing to me, but we will tap on that. But outside of Todd Bowles, outside of BA, man, a individual I played against, you played against, BA probably played against him as well. He's just been around the game of football forever, and Tom Brady. When you look at Tom Brady and his accolades, and he's continued to add to his legacy, Pat P, out of all professional sports in our country, the iconic individuals that have played professional sports and have won championships. And I'm not talking about individuals who play individual sport, like golfers or tennis players and things like that. I'm talking about team-related sports. Is Tom Brady the best professional player ever in professional sports?
Do I think Tom Brady is the greatest athlete in all sports? I think last night probably
team sports.
I think that last night probably solidified it. For him to be 43 years old, to change conference, the whole new scheme, and to go there and win in his first year, due to the pandemic, all the hurdles we all had to jump over, and for him to be able to do it, especially in that system with at his age. BA's a down the field type guy. They kind of meshed together very well. They didn't take as many shots as you used to accustomed to seeing, that BA offensive taking, but they still was able to move the ball efficiently. I would probably have to say last night solidified Tom Brady being the greatest team sport player in sports history.
And I would love to hear your opinion about this. When I think about this conversation, this is great barbershop talk because, some people might say, well, not quite yet. The thing about football where it's kind of hard to compare to other sports. Football is the ultimate team sport. Just because you have the best player on your team doesn't mean you will win championships. Doesn't mean you will get to a championship. You got to be able to get 21 other guys in the starting lineup to buy in to whatever it is you're selling. And I've been saying this, for a long time. I think Tom Brady is the ultimate, bellwether. He's the best leader to ever grace the land of the football world. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at some other players in professional sports, the greatest athlete, I think you had to put Jordan in that conversation. You know what I mean? You could put the likes of Bill Russell, who won, 11 championships, 11 championships, Kareem. You have so many great players that you probably can put in that conversation. But the job that Tom Brady has been able to do and what he did this year, I do believe, and I agree with you, Pat P, changing conference in an unprecedented season with so many trials and so many adversities, and to take a team that was bad last year, was bad the year before, hadn't been to the playoffs in forever, not just to get to the playoffs, but win it. And you look at the road they went, You know what I mean? On the road the entire time, and outside of Washington, they played against real top tier quarterbacks, uh, Hall of Fame like quarterbacks, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Money Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, so you look at the second starting quarterback in NFL history to win a Super Bowl with two different teams. The first person was Peyton Manning in 2009, 2015 with the Broncos, 2009 with the Colts. First player in NFL history to win a title in three different decades, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. Think about that. This man has won a championship in three different decades. So he literally has three Hall of Fame careers. You can say that.
Yeah.
He has a Hall of Fame career in the 2000s. He has a Hall of Fame career in the 2010s. And now, I mean, you can kind of add that in the 2020s based on what he's done too. So oldest quarterback to win a Super Bowl, 43 years of age. And he says he wants to play one more. So the Vegas odds have come out, Pat P. I know you probably haven't seen this, but they have the Kansas City Chiefs, the favorites, followed by the Green Bay Packers, and third, if I'm not mistaken, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, what are your thoughts about how legit they could be in trying to get back to that level and try to win back-to-back titles?
I mean, if they find a way to keep that team together, they can. The sky's the limit for that team. I mean, that team got hot at the right time, and I believe they have the right nucleus on that football team. Just the atmosphere seems right, and it just everybody just seemed to get along and buying into the system.
And outside of the performance of Tom Brady, I mean, there was a lot of headlines regarding that ball game as well. People were complaining. I had some issues with some of the things that I saw. What are your thoughts about some of the about the officiating that you witnessed in that ball game, especially in the first half of play? I saw some questionable PI calls. The Tyrann Mathieu interception. I thought that was a bit, uncalled for. The Rashard Breeland incidental contact to Mike Evans. I didn't agree with that one. And then, of course, the goal line play. And the ball was uncatchable. So what are your thoughts about some of the things you saw from the officials, Pat Pete?
I thought they got it together in the second half. I thought the first half, they I don't know if they wanted to get, control of the game or whatever it may be, but I thought it was definitely a lot of laundry on the field early on.
Too much.
In that game for sure. I think kind of took out the flow of the game, in a sense. But for the most part, they got it together in the second half, and it turned out to be a clean half of a football in the second half. So I think Kansas City set a record, right, with 96 penalty yards.
Penalties, almost 100, a whole
in
football
the first
field.
half. Yeah, so I thought it was definitely the field was a little dirty early.
Yeah, but one thing I would like to highlight, Pat P, that a lot of people are not talking about. Yes, the officials had some questionable calls, but a sequence of plays that I would like to talk about, Pat P, right before halftime. You remember the Buccaneers got the ball a little under 40 seconds or something like that. And Andy Reid just was reckless with his timeouts. Number one, your defense didn't stop them at all in the first half, right? They didn't play any sound style football. Andy Reid was calling timeout. Granted, I understand what he was doing. He was anticipating getting a stop to be able to get the ball back. But if you look at the first down play, right, it wasn't 5 or 6 yards, but they got a few positive yards. The second down play when Chris Godwin caught that pass and made it 3rd and 2, I'm not calling timeout right there because the percentage of them getting that first down is in their favor. It was 3rd and 2.
Right.
He calls timeout, 3rd down. Gronkowski converts the first down, and now the Buccaneers, we got life. They were content and going into halftime, and the Buccaneers, that is 14-6. They were okay with that. But Andy Reid was reckless with his timeouts, trying to be greedy to get an extra possession, led to more opportunities for the Buccaneers to eventually score that touchdown on that bad call. So all I'm saying is this, listeners and viewers, if Andy Reid was just if he was more precise with understanding when to use his timeouts, they probably wouldn't have scored. And the Buccaneers is the team I'm talking about, because they probably would have went into halftime because they were okay in doing that. So instead of going into halftime down 14-6, Pat P, they go down 21-6.
26,
and that's a steep hill to climb. So I just didn't understand Andy Reid's thought process and how he used his timeouts. And outside of that, one thing that I would like to hit on with you, for secondary guys, sometimes when we get beat or we're involved in a play that results in a touchdown, offensive players love to celebrate. Offensive players love to have fun. The Antoine Winfield got called for taunting, right? Now, remember in the first, hey, Pat P, hey, like they say, ain't no foaming that rabbit got that gun. Kapow, kapow, hey, kapow, kapow. Hey, you remember the first meeting? Boy, Tyreek Hill kept hitting them boys with that deuce, right?
Hey.
He kept hitting them boys with the deuce. So Antoine Winfield, it got some get back, and he says it's something I had to do. When we played earlier, he backflipped in front of my face, gave me the peace sign. So it was only right that I gave it to him. I forgot he did do a backflip on them boys in the end zone. Yeah, what are your thoughts about that? What are your thoughts about that?
I love it. I love it, man. Like you said, ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun, man. And if you're gonna be able to, hand out a gesture like that, you got to be able to take it. And Tyreek Hill did a great job of taking it. He wasn't sour about it or anything like that. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny and good for the game. It brings it
he
brings
put
a
the
lot
peace
of
sign right in his face.
yeah, it brings a lot of I don't know. To me, it just brings more excitement to the game because now when they play again, it's gonna
It's
be like some
personal.
type of no doubt about it.
It's
So I
personal.
love it. I love it.
Hey, it's personal, and I love it too as well because everybody is joking when Tyreek Hill is running past
When he's
people and
doing it,
embarrassing
right,
them and
right.
making fun, looking back and making a peace sign. They don't throw a flag on him for doing that.
No.
You know what I mean? It's part of the game, so I love it as well. And I think I don't know what the schedule will look like, but I highly doubt
I'm sure they're gonna
these
play.
teams won't play. Yeah, they will play. And another back and forth that occurred, friend of the show, very very first guest star, Mathieu, and Tom Brady was going back and forth, right? Now, the one thing I don't agree with, they gave Tyrann
Tyrann
the
a flag.
penalty. Yeah, I think
they
it should have been
to both.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on both sides. And usually it's the second person who usually gets the flag. In this situation, Tyrann initiated the whole little, I don't want to say he initiated, but he got things going. He got chased down, and Tyrann was the one who got the penalty. That didn't make any sense to me. But some people are saying Tom Brady, he's a quarterback. He shouldn't act like that. What do you say when people to the folks that are saying that about Tom Brady?
Man, when he's on a football field, he's just like everybody else. He like to show that same fire and passion like everybody else on the football team. The only thing I would probably say that differentiates, the quarterback from the team is that, he has a little bit more say so than everybody else. At the end of the day, he put his pads on just like us. He take a shower just like us. He do everything just like a human being.
And one thing that a lot of people don't realize, when you get into that uniform, when you get into that battlefield,
you're a different person.
You're a different person. You're not the same person you are now holding your little baby, right? You're in an animal mentality, like that's the kind of mentality you have. And Tom Brady is not the same person he is when he's walking through his mansion that he is on the football field. And I kind of like that because you don't usually see quarterbacks have that fire.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? In their belly. They have that fire in their belly, like our very own Pete Prisco usually says about, certain prospects. They got to have that fire in their belly. And Tom Brady has that fire in his belly. So but one thing I can say, he was man enough to extend a text message to Tyrann Mathieu apologizing for some of the words that he used. You know what I mean? He probably was cussing from ear to ear. He probably said some things that he wouldn't say around his family and his children. But that happens in the heat of the battle. And I like the sportsmanship, being able to, you know what, bruh, you said some things, I said some things. Let me apologize for what I said to you. And I'm pretty sure, Tyrann accepted that apology. But you better believe the old Badger, he wants some get back.
Oh yeah.
He definitely gonna want some get back. So right now we're gonna transition to, since this season is over with, Pat P, man, a very, very difficult season for all parties involved, but a successful season to say the least. Wrapping up the 2020 season, it was an unprecedented year that is now over. How will you remember this season?
Man, getting freaking COVID every day, man. Getting that COVID test every day.
That test.
Oh my God, getting that COVID test every day, bro. I mean, I'm happy that that it worked out for us, that we was able to finish out the year. But hey, man, that was hell, dog. Waking up, waking up, changing your schedule, having them dig up your nose every day.
Nah,
It just to me, at the end of the day, we had to do it. That's just something that came with the job. But
yeah.
that's definitely something I will remember about 2020.
Hey,
Again, COVID tested for 4 months straight.
straight. Hey, I feel your pain because being out here in Tampa, CBS did a great job in making sure we follow the protocols.
Mhm.
But man, I was tested a whole lot too, and that little stick up your nose, man,
Hey,
that thing will get you teary eyed, bro. It's
I,
like 10 seconds.
hey, every day, every day
That's
getting
what,
teary eyed.
man. Listen, hey, they were like, well, 10 seconds. They're gonna swab you and moving around in a circle. And I'm just holding my breath. I'm counting in my ear.
Hey,
I mean, counting in my head is that's 10 seconds now. That's 10 seconds.
hey,
They just
Mac.
got the stick all the way up there, man.
So
I salute
mind
you
you,
guys, man.
Mac, it's 5 people in there, so you might get a different person every day. So
Oh,
everybody got different pressures. Everybody go,
oh, they
a
might
little.
go a little deeper.
Oh man, Mac, I'm
Hey,
telling
that's
you
a
one time,
sensitive
bro.
spot too.
Man, one time I can't remember her name, bro. Man, she got me good, man. Had a tear just literally just coming all the way down. I was like, oh, you shared one that one. You shared one on that one, mama.
Hey, hey, man,
Hey,
y'all boys did
I
that
was
every
so
day.
hey, listen, I was so happy when they changed the tips because we used to use like the Q-tips, but now
Hmm.
they changed it to like the little skinny, almost got like feathers on it. So that
That's
one
what
was
I was
better.
using.
Yeah, so that
That's what
one's
I got
better.
tested
But
with.
them first 2 months though, man, it's like a normal Q-tip. Imagine that going
Mm.
up,
Nah,
Yeah,
and the thing you said, key points. Some people got different pressure points, and they might stick it a little
yeah,
further than what
yeah.
you're used to, and that'll make you
Hey,
tear up a little bit.
we even had hit list. Hey man, don't go to her. Don't go to
Oh, y'all
him.
knew who to go to and who not to go to. Hey, but Pat P, one thing I can salute the NFL because it seems like they're living the right way. Because you look at it,
Yeah.
but let's go back to last year's championship game right in Miami. They were able to get through their season right before the pandemic happened, right?
Mhm.
And then, of course, the draft came about. People were concerned about how the draft would turn out. The virtual draft was a hit. I mean, it was a
Right.
spectacular event. Then you look at getting into this season, not knowing if they will have a full season. The NFL was able to have a full season without any canceled game in a period where baseball games were getting canceled, college games were getting
Everything.
canceled, everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the job the NFL did, just being extremely lucky, has been impressive to this day.
Right.
So they did a great job, and salute you guys for being able to, you know, change up your life, to say the least, to be able to get this season on and done for us to be able to have something to watch and be entertained. So you guys did a great job in changing the dynamics of your life, and being able to play the sport you love.
Hey, another thing about the league too, though, I think they're gonna probably do some deeper looking into is that off season, the OTAs that we didn't have. I believe, you
Oh, I
know,
heard y'all boys trying to get out of that. Period.
yeah. Hey, man, that was love. Like literally, that's probably the best I felt in being in 10 years, as far as like my body wise. You know what I mean? Not being, legs being tired. Body not
Hmm.
feeling banged up. So for the most part, I thought that was I thought that was beneficial for a lot of guys, especially
Yeah.
the guys that want to want to
Oh, the
play this
vets would
game,
love that.
yeah, much longer. So I think what they should do is though, if they want to make it, because it's voluntary workout, and I don't understand why they make such a big deal off it. It's voluntary workout. That's the key word. But I understand this as well because, like me, in the off season, I gotta do this all day. Like with my kids,
Mm.
I don't have that time during the season to be coming pick my daughter up to school, to pick her up from school, drop her off to school in the morning,
Yeah.
be able to come back home halftime with my little one. So
Hmm.
that's why I think it's always booked. Because at the end of the day, they say it's an off season, but it's only literally 2 months off. That's not
Yeah.
enough time when we spending a whole 7 months during the season. So I
And
think they
in those
should they
2 months,
should
you still working out.
right. So I think it should be something different because guys do have families. Guys do want to put that time in with their little ones, so that it's not like oh, daddy's going to work again. Daddy doing this again. I want my kid to be able to I want to be able to spend those times with them, wake them up in the morning, brush their teeth, because that's stuff I love doing. I'm a father. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
more than a football player. So I think those voluntary workouts, people, the outsiders, don't really be getting all hissy fitted or uptight when key players don't show up to voluntary workouts, because that's what it is. It's a voluntary workout. So
Yeah.
hopefully, the league continue this virtual thing, make it to where if guys don't want to come, they still can participate virtually, because
Yeah.
at this point, how much more the strength conditioning coach can do for me to get my body right. I've been in the game long enough. I understand how to get my body right. I know what type of shape I need to be in. So now when I get in season, now you just keep me fine tuned.
Yeah.
You know
No
what I mean?
doubt.
So that's just I hope they go through with it. Like I said, I felt great, and hopefully things end up working out for this year, and we'll see what happens in the 21 season.
Yeah, we will see. And well, hopefully one thing we hope that will change a little bit. I know for y'all's sake, getting tested every day. So hopefully we'll be in a better position when the season starts. So you don't have to get that
Hey
stick
man,
up your nose.
yeah, I think. What you laughing at? What you laughing? I think with that vaccine being out, man. Hopefully, thanking the good Lord that we won't have to take that get that COVID test every day.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Now it's time to transition to my favorite part of the show. We call this Has Pat Heard? Has Pat Heard? This was past weekend was very, very eventful. A lot of things happened, a lot of news circulated, a lot of news came out. First question for you in Has Pat Heard P2?
Okay.
Did you hear or did you see that Charles Woodson got inducted into the Hall?
Hey, it's crazy thing about I just saw that today.
You just saw that today.
I just saw that this morning because I didn't watch the hat because they normally do that on Saturday, right?
Saturday, yeah. NFL honors.
I didn't watch the NFL honors, and I was watching the game, but I wasn't listening to the game because I had music going, so I didn't see them, I didn't hear them say anything about it during the game, but I saw it this morning. And I knew he would get in there. I saw Charles last year at Lake Tahoe at the golfing event that we always play in American Century. And I knew he was up. I knew he would get in. I knew Calvin would get in. Who else ended up getting in that's around our time?
Okay. That's
Joe.
part of the
You
music.
got John Lynch. John Lynch, Peyton Manning, the Raiders coach. I can't remember his name. Charles
Alan
Woodson.
Faneca. Tom
Alan
Flores.
Faneca. Oh,
Tom
Alan
Flores.
Faneca got in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are the only people I remember.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Then I guess you passed this segment
because I literally saw it this morning.
You just saw it this morning. Okay. So if we would have recorded before this morning, I had you.
You would have got me.
I had you. But I think this is definitely a star-studded class going in. Like you said, Charles Woodson, Calvin Johnson.
Oh yeah, that's what I forgot.
Peyton Manning.
Johnson.
Calvin. And you said earlier earlier during the season with us, all things covered, Patrick Peterson, Bryant McFadden, that Calvin was your favorite matchup. That you loved that matchup between you and Calvin. Why is that?
And
why was that?
Yeah, apparently Calvin loved that matchup too. It's just something about that's why you play the game, man. You want to have the opportunity to go up against the league's best, and now he's a Hall of Famer, and I could say, I had an opportunity to go up against that guy. I think I went up against Calvin 6 times, so maybe 5.
From 2012 to 2015, you guys faced off 4 career matchups. You guys were 4-0 against the Lions and Calvin Johnson.
Okay, so I faced him 4 times. Got a couple picks. That's how you build your resume. And I always been a guy that never shied away from a challenge. And seeing the things that he was able to do throughout his career and throughout the years that we was preparing for him, I wanted to embrace that challenge. So and he always brought the best out of me, because he was such a difficult guard because he was so big, he was shifty at the same time, he was fast, he was strong, he was physical.
He had it all.
Yeah, exactly. His catch radius was ridiculous, and 9 times out of 10, I'm pressing him, so my back gonna be against the ball, so it made my job that much harder. So that's why I embrace those matchups, man. That's why, in my career, that's why I always wanted those type of guys because it can either make or break you, but at the same time, if it break you, that should be something that builds you up stronger to make sure it don't break you again.
And speaking of your career, recapping this Hall of Fame class with outstanding players, how much do you think about your legacy and your chances of one day getting inducted and enshrined in Canton?
I think about it every once in a while, but I feel like I have a lot left, out there that I need to take care of. I was talking to my boy Kevin Ross. Shout out to Coach Ross, Tampa Bay
Yeah.
defensive back coach, the new the new crown world champs. But me and him, we always talk all the time. That's probably the DB coach I talk to the most. I probably have the closest relationship with him. And all we talk about is just parts of the jacket. So I can remember like when we was together, he was like, man, all right, now I was going against AJ Green. He was like, all right, this that game where you started getting that lapel. He said, this is the game you start putting that lapel on your jacket. I went against D Hop the next year. He was like, all right, you working on your buttons now. You working on your buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I think it was our last game here when we played his last game here with us when we played the Rams, and I had a solid game. I didn't get. I mean, I don't get many targets at me when I played against the Rams, but I had a couple PBUs or whatever. It's like, all right, now you got your seam, man. Now your seam is getting set in right now. So then when he left me, he was like, now I ain't gonna be here no more. But now when you start working on that collar and them sleeves, because your body of work is speaking for itself. You know what I mean? I had just got announced like all decade. Got a couple all pros under my belt. The most Pro Bowls in Cardinals history in the first couple of years. So I've done a lot of things that those guys in the Hall of Fame have done. So I just want to continue to solidify myself, continue playing at a high level. I feel like I told you early on in the show, I feel like I got 6 years left to continue to build on that resume, and hopefully a championship ring comes into that because, hey, that rain shine a lot brighter on that in Canton, baby.
No question. No question. Let me ask you this question, Pat Pete. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, you say, I'm done with the game right now. Granted, like you said, you got 5-6 more years left to be played. If you said, I'm done with the game right now, do you believe you have a Hall of Fame career already in the books based on your 9 years of playing in the National Football League, along with all the accolades you just mentioned, the consistency, the numbers? Do you believe right now, if you were to call it quits, like I'm done?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
And this was you just wrapped up year 10 or year 9?
Year 10. So I'm going to need 11.
Okay, so let's say you said I'm done year 10. This is it. Do you think you have a Hall of Fame career?
I believe so. I really do. I think the only thing that I hope they don't come back and haunt me. But I believe that 6 games suspension, will have like a great cloud over me. Something that I had no regulation of. Having it in my body. Still to this day, don't know what the hell it is or what the hell it was. But it happened. So I think that's something that's gonna hover over me. But I think at the end of the day, I will eventually get in. It might take a while, but as long as I get in, that's all that matters. But if I don't get in, I probably know half of the reason why. So because with me doing some of the research, it's not many guys that is in the NFL that have, in the Hall of Fame that have PED violation, if I'm not mistaken. Because I did look that up when I first got suspended. So like I said, that's the only thing I think that'll hold me back, which would sucks. But I still got all decade, which is only 50 something odd corners was able to achieve that goal. I'm still one of 20 cornerbacks to have 5+ Pro Bowls. So only I believe men or Darren, was it Darren? Rod Woodson, sorry,
Rod
all
Woodson.
pro at 2 different positions and make all pro. And make Pro Bowl at two different positions as well. So what I've done, it speaks for itself. You know what I mean? But like I said, I think the only thing that will, hold me back is definitely having that suspension.
Well, you already know what. Hey, you know what I tell you all the time. Only worry about what you can control.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you want to play 5-6 more years? Go get 5-6 more years and continue to add to that legacy. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And just keep pushing like you've been pushing. The future is still bright. And We about to really see what's gonna happen now.
Yes,
I
sir.
understand.
Yes, sir.
Hey, those rumors were definitely false, as you addressed that earlier
But
in
free
our
agency
show.
is. I am a free agent, and free agency is around the corner. So.
And yes, and can I say something? I'm not your agent, but I can tell you one place. Let's say if you don't return back to Arizona, right?
Okay.
If you don't return back to Arizona, you know where I want you to go.
Where you want me to go, man? Talk to me, Matt.
I mean,
I think I know
if
what
I'm
you're gonna say.
being selfish, I would love for you to go to New York. You
I
know what I
knew you
mean?
was
I
gonna
would
say
love for you.
New York.
Hey, I would love for you to go to New York, the Jets or the Giants,
I
right?
knew
I
you
would
was gonna
love
say
just
New York, man.
me being selfish, but for you, I would love.
Because
I think when what's up, little mama? Hey, yeah, see my smile, make them smile, Pat P. The babies love me now. Hey,
yeah,
I would
yeah.
love. What would be better for you, Pat P? And you spoke about this a few moments ago, and I was just listening to you, and I saw how you lit up talking about this individual, Tampa Bay, back with old ball coach,
old Bowles.
Yep, Bowlesy. You got your DB coach. We gonna finish dressing up that coat for you, the lapel, the seam. He gonna finish dressing it up for you. BA, and you talking about chasing the ring, man. Please, hey, Tom will get you there. Tom will get you
Ain't
there.
no doubt about it.
And you
about it.
Hey, I know you thinking of you about to set up shop in Georgia, but you back in the home state.
Yeah.
All right, I just
Never
threw
know,
that
Jack.
out there now. Hey,
You never
yes,
know.
sir.
Show that smile.
Hey,
Show that pretty smile.
we gonna see.
Show that pretty smile.
There she goes. She like the Sunshine State also.
Yeah.
Hey, but in the next few weeks we're gonna see how everything trickles down for you. But you got to do what's best for you. But you only control what you can control. So that's my two. You go to New York, I'm all right. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? We can go up there and do some all things covered in person. Or you go to town. Yep. I think we're gonna be good regardless.
Hey, no doubt about it. Don't. No matter what, I will be playing football this year. So we just don't know where yet.
You're not ready to go be a full-time golfer just yet. You still got 4, 5, 6 years before you do that.
No doubt about it.
Now that's one rumor that's gonna be clean. This is a clean rumor. When Pat P is done playing a game of football, he's gonna be golfing and he's gonna be doing all things covered. That's a clean rumor.
Every day. That's a very clean rumor.
Oh yeah, you definitely gonna golf every day.
I'm gonna be on the schedule, man. Drop my girls off to school. They're gonna be in school 7.5 hours. All I need is 5. Go golf. Go have me some lunch. Go pick them up. Come home, do schoolwork. Get ready for bed. Take a bath. Get ready for bed. I said schoolwork. Put them down. Do it all over again tomorrow, Matt.
I believe you. I know you. I hit Pat up, man. I'm on a golf course. What? Every day.
Every day. Every day.
You on the golf course.
You see my backyard, man.
Man, you got the putt. But hey, Pat, you gonna have to show them. You got the indoor joint too, the tee off joint. You showed.
Yeah. I got you talking about my hitting bay, my simulator.
Yeah, the hitting day. They say you out there cheating because you got a whole course at the crib.
Hey man, I'm trying to get right, dog. Hey man, I'm trying to get right, dog. I like playing golf. I like playing with a lot of different people. And, I like putting a little skin on the game as well. So I got to make sure my game is the part, baby.
And you like yourself against any other player in the league right now? You really feel good about your game like that?
Now it's a couple people that's better than me. There's definitely a couple.
Oh,
like Adam. Like what?
I meant to tell you. I remember you wasn't able to join when I had Kirby Smart on the show. Kirby said
that. Him and Nick.
Him and Nick, they said, man, but Kirby personally said
I ain't playing with Nick, man. He talking about getting his mulligan on 18. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Hey, you know what we might have to do, Pat P? I don't want to throw a tease out there, but we might have to bring Nick on to really get his whole thought process about the mulligans and all that. I think we might need to see if we can get Nick on.
I tell you, man, after the first hole, man, you don't get no more mulligans, man. That goes
hey,
your score
Kirby
now,
said
man.
that. Now Kirby threw that rumor out by Coach Saban and mulligans. Yeah, Kirby did say that, but he called you out. He said he wanted some of Pat Peterson on the court, it's legit in the offseason. And for the college coaches, they kind of in their offseason as well. I'm gonna hit Kirby up and see what's up with, because he did call you out, and he said you got more money than he has, but he willing to put
money
some
ain't got
line.
nothing to do with it. We can bet $10. I'm willing to take that too.
Yeah, I know you want to win it. You want to win by any means necessary.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
So I can
but
put it in my daughter's piggy bank.
Yes, sir. We're gonna have to try to get Coach Saban on, man, and talk about this mulligan situation that Kirby out here broadcasting and putting on him.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's it for our Super Bowl recap episode. Thanks for listening and watching. We'll be back next week where you can expect all things will be covered. Peace. Say peace, mama.
Peace.